Hello, and thanks for stopping by my channel and another video in my Canon C80 series. In this video we will be building a nice cinematic rig for our Canon C80. So let's get into it. I want to build a rig that is both practical and flexible, but I also want to keep it small. Everything begins with a cage when you try to build up a cinema rig, and I am a huge fan of Zacuto products that are really made to last. I have had this handle for years, and the same with this sign handle for years. So I decided finally, and I landed on the Zacuto cage that Zacuto makes specifically for the Canon C80 camera. And there are some reasons for this, and I'll try and go through them and explain why I chose this cage in the end. So we're just going to swap around just a little bit, put the camera here. So first of all, this cage was tailor-made for the C80, and it's really small and really lightweight, but at the same time I know it is very sturdy as well. You can see when I try and flex it a little. So let's go over the cage. It has an inbuilt nader rail, which means I don't have to buy separate nader rails, screw them on and they come loose. This is, you know, a part of the design, and it also comes with a built-in HDMI clamp, which we can see here. And on the bottom we have a built-in Arca Swiss plate directly built into the cage itself. So I mean, it has all those extra parts which you would normally purchase separately on your own and attach them and they come loose or something like that. I mean, this is a wonderful design where everything is just built in. But let's see how we can fit this camera to the cage. So the first thing I'm going to do, that is to take off this focus plane here. You can see it has this markings here, and that marking is on the cage as well. So we're just going to replace that like this. The cage itself also comes with a manual from Zacuto. Looks like this. And it goes over all the parts and tell them what it is. You can see the whole bunch of 1/4" threads, 3/8. We have the HDMI right angle adapter. We have a couple of screws extra that will go into the bottom. And they're also suggesting a couple of accessories like this. This is the newer version of the handle that I have. And this is a rosette trigger hand grip, which you can purchase separately. And it also says here how we are going to install the cage itself. So we're just going to leave that for now. The first thing we want to do, that is attach the cage to the camera itself. We're just going to slide it in and line it up like this. It has a little spring in it, and tighten it up like so. Turn it around. So we are going to tighten that down. And on the side, you can see there are a couple of grooves as well. So we're just going to place the last 2 screws like this. And I can feel the cage really gripping to the camera like this. So this cage, this isn't coming anywhere. You can see here we now have 4 screws in total that holds this cage in place. Just going to make sure I tighten that down. And now we can see it doesn't add much to the camera at all. I mean, it just gives us a lot of extra mounting points. We have 1/4 inch threads, we have 3/8 threads. We even have every locating pins. We have an rosette here. We even have a cold shoe here. And we have this NATO rail here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my older handle, and I already have my wonderful SmallHD monitor. This is an Ultra HD monitor. It is 3000 nits, so this is viewable in daylight. I think that's a bit of a neat trick with Zacuto, because everything can be tightened down and released real quickly via these knobs. I mean, look how quick that was. And now I have a wonderful handle. It isn't coming anywhere, and we can slide this back and forth any way we want. I want to place it around here like this. I now have my monitor. And the next thing I want to add, that is this handle. This is an older handle, and it has an built-in NATO clamp. So we are just going to slide that up in like so. And we can tighten it down just using the same thumb screws. And now, look how far we have come on a build already. I mean, this is a wonderful handheld rig already. So we now have 2 handles in place. We have the side handle, we have the top handle, and it is a very, very sturdy combination. And now I'm going to show you a neat little trick, because whenever I see people rig up their cinema rigs and their cameras, and they always talk about V-lock batteries, and battery is important. I mean, yes, battery is important, but sound, you won't go anywhere without sound. So this is the Canon CSM1. This is one wonderful little shotgun microphone, really, really high quality, and you can see it doesn't take up any space at all. We have a nice Rycoat fur here to take off the wind. And what we are going to do, this is a very clever design by Zacuto. We're going to use the microphone holder, and on the side here you can mount this like so, and suddenly we have a really, really nice holder for our microphone. So we're just going to go ahead and attach that. And I mean, look how fast and easy we have already made this little rig. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and I'm using parts that I have lying around. So I don't go out and spend a lot of money and just get frustrated and stuff, because when I purchased the Zacuto cage, I know that the handles, they will fit and everything just works together. So the next thing we are going to do, that is going to mount this little microphone like so. Look how small and compact this rig is starting to be already. We have just added a couple of handles, a wonderful monitor, and a microphone. And we can see this is one wonderful, nice handheld little package, which you can obviously go any way you want. So the next thing we want to do is to add a couple of cables and a battery and try to make all this work. I think one of the downsides with this design is, now I didn't go with a V-lock battery. Obviously you could go with a V-lock battery if you wanted to, but I wanted to go with something that is smaller. So we're going to replace the stock battery with this one. This is a battery from Blue Shape, and my reason for going with this, that is that this is a high capacity battery, and it has a USB out as well as a D-tap out. And the D-tap out, that is what we want, and that is what we are going to use. So we are going to attach battery to the camera, and we are going to use this cable. Comes with the SmallHD. Actually, this is a cable I had lying around, but this has a Limo connector here, which goes to the monitor. Just need to be a little careful because it is a little, I think this is a little fragile, but here we go. And we are going to attach the other end to the D-tap on the battery itself. And now we can power both the monitor and the camera from one cable. And the next thing we are going to do then is just a little cable management. So I'm actually going to take advantage of this here. I'm just going to bind this cable up and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And you can use basically any which fastener you want. And we are going to do the same thing with this cable, because on a build such as this you will have to keep your cables clean. But I mean, I think this is pretty good. It's working like this. The next thing we want to do is we need a signal cable going from the camera into the monitor, and I went with a SDI cable from Shape, because this has an angled SDI, and I prefer SDI over HDMI because SDI cables, you can tighten them down like this and they don't come loose during production. I'm just going to take off the microphone to get in the right position, because this monitor has the SDI in on the side. Now that that is in place, I want to see if I can get some audio to the camera as well. And I really like the cables from Condor Blue. They're really nicely made and they are solid. So this is mini XLR to the larger XLR. People frown upon this and think that's mini XLR, they're not professional. I mean, it is a professional connection, it's just a lot smaller. And I mean, which do I prefer personally? I prefer these over these. I mean, once they're attached, they're attached. I mean, obviously, if you go and pull them out all day, yes, these will have a longer lifespan than these. And but I mean, this is a one-time, I plug it in, leave it, and I never plug it off again. So we are going to attach that to the microphone, like so. You can hear that little click. And we are going to go with input 1, which is where I like to have my inbuilt microphones. Just going to do a little cable management like so. I mean, this is a pretty perfect length for a cable. Now look at this, all of the cables are out of the way, and we have one nice solid handheld rig, which you can go like this, you can go like this, you can go like this. I mean, this is as solid as it gets. There's nothing loose on this rig at all, and there are no screws coming off. There will be no cables coming off because everything clicks when you put it in place. I mean, this is production ready. So now that we have everything built up, I'm going to attach my lens. This is the Canon 24-105, which I chose specifically for the Canon C80 and my style of shooting. Your needs may be different, but I mean, it comes down to the same. So we're going to attach this, and all of a sudden we have a high quality cinema rig ready for production. But I could sit around, talk about and brag about my rig all day, but it's no good if it's not working. So let's power everything up and see if we can get some results. So we're going to power on the camera. We're going to power on the monitor. We're going to see if we get a signal. And there we go. Wow, look at this. We have a 3000 nits screen, which is viewable in daylight, which should be viewable outside now in the winter. I will try this when the weather gets better. It's really foul today. So let's also see if we can get an image. Let's just go like this. Look at this. We have a nice, solid, clean rig where we can go from 24 like this to 105 like this in an instant. And we can see that the autofocus is working. You can see it's tracking the Samsung either which way I turn. So I just wanted to show you real quick that If you take a look at the SmallHD screen now, we can see the whole menu setting coming from the camera. I mean, this is exactly the same as our inbuilt screen, which we can now see on a SmallHD, so we can keep track of all our settings. We can see we're at 25p. I'm shooting RAW at 43 by 68, 12-bit. I have my audio levels. I can see my iris, my ISO, white balance. I mean, all the information is transferred from the camera and over to this monitor. So this makes it really, really production friendly. So imagine now we're on sticks. You can, as an operator, you can see the whole image clearly, whether it's outside or inside. I mean, you have all this wonderful information to work with. And this is a really, really high quality cinematic package. It doesn't cost an arm or a leg as opposed to what it did a few years ago. We can shoot in 6K. We have a 3000 nit screen, and everything is just built around this cage from Zacuto, where everything is built in. There are no loose screws, no loose NATO rails, no loose nothing. Everything is just coming really nicely together. The microphone holder here is really solid. The handles are solid. All the cables are working. Battery is working. So I do hope you found this little video enjoyable, and perhaps it gave you some ideas. Perhaps you want to copy my design. Perhaps you want to go with your own design. But I do hope I gave you some insight and some information so that you have something to build on when you want to build a cinema rig for yourself. This is everything that I have been doing lately with the unboxing, setting up the camera. We have our matte box, we have our lens. We now have a wonderful cinematic build, which I can take out into the wild and start making some money with it. So the next time, in the next episode, I will be building up a director's monitor kit, because my next job will employ a director on set, and I want him to have a separate monitor. So watch out for that video in a coming episode. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for stopping by my channel, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.